Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Live from Seattle, it's Nintendo Live. It's dangerous to go alone, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society goes with ya. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I'm joined, as I'm always joined, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. We've got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking about the news from the week, including a brand new Nintendo fan event that's happening in Seattle. And then on Thursday, we're going to be talking about what we would like to see carry over from the Super Mario Brothers movie into the games. But Mark, in the meantime, how's it going?
Oh, it's going so great. So happy to be back.
Yes.
Thank you so much to Matt for stepping in for me last week.
We love having Matt around. Mark, I gotta say, I freaked out a little bit when I had to do two different announcer voices at the top of the show.
I thought you handled it beautifully.
Thank you. I did like cup my hand over the microphone for the Don Pardo voice.
I thought it was great.
Great. I'm glad it all worked out. You had a good time away.
Yeah.
Show was in good hands while you were gone. Yes.
I felt no stress. You know that it would be a good episode. I had no doubt at all. But had a nice little vacation, came back, bought a new laundry basket.
Tell me what you got for laundry baskets.
Oh, Patrick. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I first moved to LA, I bought one of those.
Going way back.
Going way back. One of those, just from Target for like dorm room, like collapsible, like baskets essentially. They were like mesh.
Yeah.
Had that.
Tall?
Fairly tall.
Like
yes,
2.5 feet, maybe.
I would say 2.5 feet.
I would say it's a pretty tall.
2.5 to 3 feet. Had it for years.
Yeah.
Falling apart.
Mhm.
And then when my husband and I moved to our previous place, it was like new place, new laundry basket. So we got kind of the same thing, but just a better one.
Okay.
But it has been losing its shape and so that means we had it for like 4 years at this point.
Right.
And it had been losing its shape because it had metal inside and the metal would like bend. And so it wasn't like standing up straight anymore.
So it was like slouching.
So it was like slouching all the time. So you couldn't really fill it up fully, and it had been driving me crazy. But I hadn't done anything about it because I'm lazy. And then
it's
finally,
a laundry basket. Like, who wants to invest in that?
Right, exactly. But then we came back from vacation. We had to do like grocery shopping and stuff. And I was like, we're doing it. We're getting a new laundry basket. And you're like, whenever you make one of these, decisions for where you live, it feels like you have to make the optimal decision, right? It's like, ooh, now I need the optimal laundry basket. So we're looking at laundry baskets.
You're reading reviews on Wired.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, do we, are we wicker people?
Right.
Are we?
That's a commitment.
It's a commitment.
Yeah.
Like we ended up getting a big, we wanted volume. That's what we decided was important to us.
Sure.
So we got a big plastic tub, and it is, but color was a big discussion.
Right.
But
I assume you went with white.
No, we did not. And
What?
this was part
Wait, so
of it.
what color is it?
It's black because we
What?
needed the volume.
Sure.
But that's why color was like a little bit of it. But then it's like, well, it's just going to be in the closet. Like, who cares what this laundry basket looks like? But here's the thing.
Would only be in the closet until you like take it to the laundry.
Right.
Right?
But like
then it's out.
for like a moment, and
Yeah.
then you put things in the laundry.
Right.
Then you put it back. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The laundry basket has a lid, which I'm assuming is for if your laundry basket is out in public. It has a lid for aesthetic reasons.
Are you sure you got a laundry basket?
Because otherwise,
seems like you just got
is
like
it
a big
basketball
Rubbermaid
hoop?
bin. Like I don't know. Wait, you think a basketball hoop has a lid?
Well, this one like okay, you're right. I know that a basketball hoop does not have a lid. However,
and I agree that you know that.
However, I do think that I'm not going to go get it. I thought about it for a second.
Don't go get it.
I'm not going to go get it. But suffice it to say that our laundry basket could be used for practicing.
To play basketball.
Yeah. In a pinch.
We just have we have 3 identical white plastic laundry baskets that are like your classic round with like the slits in the side.
Yes, that you're gonna like pick up. These are
Yes.
short. We were talking earlier
Yeah,
about tall. These are
short.
short.
These are short boys.
Uh-huh.
They stack inside each other, and usually it's just like 3 of them stacked inside each other. But then on top of that, I have like a blue, like kind of mesh one with like the sort of like plastic. It also collapses.
Uh-huh.
But this thing has held its shape for I've had it since college.
Oh my gosh.
So I've had that forever, and then Sarah's got one that's like a tall, kind of wicker looking thing.
Uh-huh.
And so we've between the 2 of us, we've got 5 different laundry receptacles.
Well, we kept our receipt in case we're unhappy and need to take it back. Can I ask you this? Are you and Sarah, do you separate,
Yeah.
like laundry?
Well, it's like my clothes go on my side of the room, her clothes go on her side of the room.
But do you, like, when you're washing them, do you put like all the light colors together, all the dark? My husband and I, we're like one load people.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
like we're just shoving it all in there.
No, I mean it's like when she does laundry, she will throw some of my stuff in with hers to like finish the like usually second load, and I'll do the same when I'm like doing my laundry. But generally, it's like you do yours, I'll do mine.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
But sorry, what I'm trying to get at is, do you separate like light colors from dark colors?
Oh, I
Like,
see it.
Do you?
Yes,
like,
sometimes,
do you-
sometimes, but
how,
also
how
like
much? How much do you pay attention to like the labels?
I mean, not at all. Everything kind of just goes. I will like just sort of for my own like, for my own mind, it would be like all the light clothes and socks and underwear go in one thing
Mm-hmm.
because like it's mostly about like the folding of things.
Yes.
Where I'm like, I don't want to be like folding a bunch of like shirts and pants and then have to like go into sock mode. No, when I'm folding socks, I want it just to be like all socks and underwear,
Uh-huh.
right? Because that's like one kind of folding. I can
Yeah.
lay them out on the bed. It's very easy to do. Mark, we've got a Patreon if people would like to support us. This is a show where we ostensibly talk about Nintendo stuff. And if you would like to support us in that, you can go to patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society and become a supporter there. If you support us at the 8-bit or 16-bit tiers, you also get access to our bonus material. Right now, we are making our way through a show that we are calling NCS Detective Club, where we are watching the great detective shows of all time throughout television history. We just put out an episode on Psych. We've done Murder, She Wrote, and a bunch of others. And if you are interested in that, you should support us there.
That's right. That miniseries, NCS Detective Club, will be coming to an end fairly soon.
I can't believe we're getting close to the end of this thing.
And if you want to weigh in on what the next miniseries should be, just another reason to join the Patreon.
Yep. A poll for that will be going up shortly. I was about to give like a deadline. We haven't talked about it. It'll be going up shortly. Also, we have a Discord, which you do not need to be a patron to be a part of. All you need to do is email us at Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com, and we will send you an invitation. You can get in the Discord. You can be having great conversations about Nintendo stuff basically all the time. Mark, let's get into what we've been playing this week. Tetris 99 ticket update.
Can I say I was so happy to hear Matt kind of like coach you into getting more tickets a week?
Uh-huh.
Like we have maybe we need Matt and I on like alternating weeks just to kind of, like I'm like good cop. I'm like, ooh, I'm like nice. I'm like,
yeah,
do
you're
whatever,
like, you
do whatever you
do
feel.
It. Yeah, that's
and
right.
then Matt's like, no, go get those tickets.
Okay, but Mark, where's my music?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Dun 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 dun.
729 tickets this
Wow.
week, which means I am back up to my greater than 20 in a week.
I mean, Matt's coaching worked.
Matt's coaching worked. I had to sing the song myself last week. I was about to have to sing the song myself again this week. But yeah, no, I'm back. I'm back on it.
Very nice.
What have you been playing?
I have been playing Super Mario Galaxy still. And this last week, I've been playing it in handheld mode, which, yeah, because I was traveling, didn't bring a dock or anything, just like on the plane, and a couple of other times pulled it out. And so on the one hand, I'm super glad that Super Mario Galaxy is on the Switch and it is possible to play it in handheld mode. but I do not like playing it in handheld mode. And
I mean, it was not designed for
like
traditional controllers.
They did a like
setting.
fairly good job of porting it over, and I think you could absolutely it's totally playable. Like,
yeah.
The way that really what you're missing, I feel like, by not having the pointer control of the Joy-Con is being able to pick up star bits
Yeah.
and shoot star bits without having to touch the screen.
Yeah. So that's the solution, is that it becomes like the touch
As far
screen?
as I can tell, there's no, and like, I guess like
how would you?
What would the alternative be? I guess trying to use like holding a button and then moving your cursor or something to try to replicate it. But you're moving so
terrible.
quickly. Yeah, yeah. And so that's the solution is you use the touchscreen and just kind of like drag your finger where the star bits are to pick them up, and then you press and hold to shoot star bits.
Okay.
But it just doesn't it's just a little bit awkward because it is, when you're playing in handheld mode, you have to use both Joy-Con and then like all the buttons on it, and then to try to do that and then also take your hand off of the right Joy-Con to like pick up the star bits, it works, but it's just not like, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like that makes me think of the problems of trying to play the Skyward Sword HD remaster in handheld mode. That like it's a similar problem of like, yeah, you can control the sword with the right thumbstick, but like, man, that's weird. Like it's just weird.
Yeah,
it works, but it also like, does it?
Yeah, and so I am happy to be home and like being able to. I'm ready to play again using the Joy-Con. But man, I mean, Super Mario Galaxy, great game.
Yeah, wonderful game. Where abouts are you? Hard to express, I guess.
I guess I'm like in the 4th observatory.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's super fun. I'm glad that you're playing it. I'm even more glad that you are back home so you can play it on a screen using the Joy-Con like Wii remotes. Mark, I was a couple weeks ago. I bookmarked something on Twitter. I don't ever use the bookmark feature, but I did. And what I bookmarked was a tweet that I had seen come through like a long time ago. This a person, Metroid Mike is his name on Twitter, had made a Super Mario Brothers 5 in Super Mario Maker 2, which was just like an attempt to create Super Mario Maker levels that aren't impossible, that aren't overly gimmicky, that aren't like puzzle solving, that basically aren't all of the worst traps that Super Mario Maker and Super Mario Maker 2 levels fall into, right? And he had them all strung together in like 8 different worlds, using that like kind of world map feature that came in the final update to Super Mario Maker 2. And I just played through it and had a great time. It's amazing that like, and I wonder how much like time and patience it takes to really make a level that is not full of like gimmicks or just like overloaded with like the temptation is always to be like, let's make this crazy, because you can. But yeah, so I'm just like, it seems like it must have been a Herculean task to actually create this thing, and is generally like pretty fun, not overly easy, not overly difficult, but just like a fun set of Mario levels.
Did in the different levels, are they different art style, or do they stick with one kind of like consistently throughout it to give it kind of cohesion?
No, he uses 3 styles. He uses Super Mario Brothers, he uses Super Mario Brothers 3, and Super Mario World. Does not use New, and does not use the 3D World styles, which is fine. Like, for whatever reason, those 3 NES and Super NES ones like feel of a piece together, and it's never like jarring to jump between them.
That's really cool. I mean, yeah, that update that ability that they added to group levels together and actually like create worlds was so neat. Man, I feel like
so little so late though, right?
So little so late, and curation just continues to be a real problem for those types of like user generated content games. Mm-hmm. Because how do you find and surface? It feels like you would need like a full-time team whose job it is just purely to go through levels and surface like the good ones.
Well, and sort of beyond that, like surfacing the good ones and then like curating an experience where it's like here are because like it's fun to play a well-designed Mario level, but then like if that's it, and then you got to like hunt around again until you find another like single good Mario level, like your good to bad ratio is going to be way off, right? You're going to be playing a ton of bad levels, and it's going to take a lot of time. And the nice thing about this is that like each of these 8 worlds has like 6 levels in it. And so like you're playing like 50 good Mario levels. And if they could have a curation team that's like, here's 10 good levels. We service 10 good levels every week. And you play that, like that's the dream. And it, like you say, would be impossible. You need a whole team doing that. But like, would you need a big team?
Yeah, it feels like you're saying, like if they had committed to that, where it was like we're gonna highlight 10 levels a week and basically put them in like a playlist, and you can just go through these curated ones. That would have been so cool and give you a reason to, even if they just committed to doing it for a year, a reason to like keep going back
right
into Mario Maker 2.
And then at the end of that time, you've got 52 10-episode playlists to like revisit forever.
Yeah.
Like, and that could be the Mario Maker canon. Like, that would be awesome.
That would have been really cool.
That would have been really cool. Hey, guess what didn't happen? That very cool thing that we're describing. I'm still playing Metroid Prime Remaster, although I'm going slow, and I'm dying occasionally. I did the thing where you get the X-ray visor and then like all the lights go out.
Ugh,
that's a tough section.
It is a tough section. You're getting to the point of the game where I started to find it a little bit tedious to be like, yeah, like that part is tough. You're doing it in the dark with like the X-ray stuff. And that's where I was like, oh man, I've got to get a guide because I never want to come back here to get the artifacts if I like miss them.
Yeah, well, and I've picked up a couple artifacts just like as I'm going. I'm not even to the point where I'm like trying to collect them yet. Like I just got that spider ball, so I'm like, oh yeah, where were all those tracks? And now I am like, I should get a guide because I don't really want to, because you kind of just like the game twists back on itself so well, and so like kind of intuitively that like I don't really know where I'm supposed to go next, but I'm like, I know it's somewhere I've been, which just limits me to this enormous map that I've been running around for the last several hours. But so I'm still making my way through that, and I continue to play Pikmin Bloom. Mark, I took my Pikmin for a walk here in Burbank this evening before coming over to record with you. And while on my walk, planting flowers all over the place, I met a Bernese mountain dog in real life.
Oh, that's fun.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Just a big, furry, friendly dog.
Oh my gosh.
And that's it. Game of the year. Pikmin Bloom is great. I love it. I'm having so much fun with it. All right, Mark, that's what we've been playing this week. Let's get into the new releases and what we might be playing next week. Let me just tell you, this week has got some. It has already put a dent in my wallet.
There is a lot of stuff coming out this week.
Yes.
Today, Tuesday, April 18th, Minecraft Legends is released on Switch, and also Disney Speedstorm is releasing in early release on platforms including Switch. So it will later become free to play, but for right now, I'm assuming all platforms. But there's like 3 different levels of game that you can purchase to be part of this early release.
Do we have any like early impressions of this thing, or is it like basically going live to everyone?
Not that I've really seen. Yeah. I saw that they're including Figment, the little imagination dragon from the Imagination Pavilion at Epcot,
from Journey into Imagination.
Yes, as one of the drivers. So,
have I expressed this to you that when I was a child, Figment was one of my favorite characters?
No.
I really liked Epcot when I was a kid. And I was like always intrigued by that the like biology pavilion at Epcot and the like reproduction.
Oh, Wonders of Life.
Wonders of Life and the Miracle of Me or whatever it was called.
Making of Me.
That's Short. Right. Thank you. Thank you for being there for me, Mark. But the Journey into Imagination with Figment was like a big it's obviously not part of that same pavilion, but like I was really into Epcot. I really liked Epcot when I was a kid. And so seeing, first of all, Figment is one of those characters that Disney is just like, we don't actually talk about him.
They had a comic book series with him.
Yeah,
like a little while ago.
it wasn't that good. It was fine. But like I had a Figment like plush when I was a kid, and it is one of the stuffed animals that I like think of now, and I'm like, I wish I still had that. So yeah, I was very excited to see that Figment is in this game.
Yeah, he's a Figment is like a cute little purple dragon.
Yeah.
That wears a sweater sometimes. I don't know if he always wears a sweater.
I think he
but in my head,
mostly
he's
wears
wearing
a sweater. Yeah.
You know, I didn't.
Sometimes he wears glasses too.
That's right. I didn't. I was not. I didn't go to Epcot until I was like 20 years old.
Oh,
and so
sure.
it was probably at the nadir of Epcot. You know, they'd gotten rid of like Horizons, they'd gotten rid of World of like, you know, all the classic Epcot stuff was gone, and they hadn't started building, you know, like Guardians of the Galaxy or anything. So it was just kind of like a weird time for Epcot when I went. But I wish that I could have. I experienced Figment, but like the truncated version of the Figment ride that they have now, not the original one.
They should bring Figment back. Bring him back in a big way.
But if you want a little bit of that Figment magic, you can participate in the Disney Speedstorm early release.
Are you going to be doing this? Are you going to participate in it?
I don't think so. I do think I'm going to check it out, but I'm just going to wait till it's free to play.
I think it's a great
idea. I don't
idea.
feel the need to like pay for it right now.
I'm also like, I want people to tell me like, oh yeah, it's a solid kart racer before, because you know, like I feel like there's so much. I was gonna say there's like such a scale of like how good a kart racer can be, but really it's just that I'm very comfortable with Mario Kart.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Like, for me, like, Mario Kart is like the kart racer, and so, even ones that people have told me are really good, when I try them, it's a little bit of like, yeah, but it's not Mario Kart. And so it doesn't click for me in that same way. Tomorrow, Wednesday, April 19th, the Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters are finally released on Switch.
That's Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, Final Fantasy 2 Pixel Remaster, Final Fantasy 3, and so on. Mark, these are already preloaded on my Switch.
Okay, I was going to ask. How much did that end up setting you back? Is that like $100?
So I bought the bundle, so it's $75.
Oh, okay.
But if you were to buy them all individually, it's about $100. Yeah.
Where do you see yourself diving into one immediately, or is it more of just like a relief to have them and you'll be able to get them
sort of the latter?
Want?
It's sort of the latter. I do you know, Final Fantasies 4 and 6 are among my favorite games of all time. And I've always wanted to play 5 but never really had like the opportunity to. So I may start with 5 and just see how far I get into it. Things have been busy at work, and I think I'm about to take on another like big project. So I feel like I'm going to lose a little bit of time for gaming in the months to come. But like, if I can have, which is maybe a good argument for like starting 4, a game that I know very well and can like dip in and out as I go and not have to like worry about like what was I doing, or like having to really engage in like, how do I work this job system? Like I know how to play 4, you know? So maybe that'll be the game that I have just sort of like on in the background, or to like decompress or something.
And then on Thursday, April 20th, Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly, is released on the Switch eShop. This was featured in an Indie World Showcase, I think, late last year, and is now being released. So I've had the original Coffee Talk on my Switch wish list for a really long time, and so every time it goes on sale, I'm like, ooh, should I? I love this idea of just like a cozy game where, you know, you're mixing drinks, people are coming in, they're like fantastical creatures. Sometimes you're talking to them. It's a game series that I haven't played, but has always appealed to me.
Do you think you're gonna check this one out?
Here's what I'm hoping.
Yeah,
is that since the second one comes out, the first one will go on sale.
They declare the first one obsolete.
Exactly.
And they just say,
and I will be the beneficiary
hey
of
Mark,
it.
do you want this?
Yeah, that's
We're not using it anymore. We're using the new one now. Do you want the first one?
And then on Friday, April 21st, barring any other world events between now and then, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp is releasing on Switch.
Would it surprise you to learn also already preloaded on my Switch?
Now,
I just this week 7 big RPGs fell onto my Switch.
Was this a voucher game for you?
This is a voucher game for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
I bought the I bought the voucher and was like, well, Zelda obviously, and I was like, the other one's going to be Advance Wars, and so I just like redeemed it right away. Which does mean that if you're thinking about it, I did spend $175 on video games in the last week.
But why would you think about it?
But why would you really think about that? Why would you do that?
Do you think that you'll dip into Advance Wars and just kind of check it out in the beginning, or is it another one that you'll hold on to for the future?
It sort of depends. I want to revisit this topic next week because I think I will have a clearer vision of what like the rest of my year portends.
Sure.
Things must be cloaked in secrecy here, but I submitted a proposal for a big project that I might be taking up time through the end of the year, but maybe it won't.
Right? Yeah.
Things don't always go. So if things don't go, then hey, I'm going to play all these games.
Well, let me just say that no matter how busy you get, you better not drop Tetris 99 tickets.
That was it. That was the bullying pep talk.
Was that?
I don't know.
Did it work?
I don't think so.
I feel bad.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like you should feel bad. All right, Mark, let's close this out. Which brings us to a regular segment on our show. It is time for 433. In 1952, American composer John Cage wrote a piece called 433, wherein a performer or group of performers didn't play their instruments for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. For the purposes of the show, our instruments are talking about Nintendo. So, for the duration of one performance of 433, Mark and I'll talk about something not at all Nintendo related, thus fulfilling the contract of the piece. Mark, you've prepared a quiz for us. You haven't prepared it. You've procured a quiz for us.
Sourced it. Yes, from theaternerds.com, and you know they're theater nerds because they spell it R-E instead of E-R. So
how do you spell theater?
Well, you can spell it two ways.
No, I understand. I'm asking how you spell it.
I think it depends on like how I'm feeling. Am I feeling fancy?
Yeah.
Then I'll spell it R-E.
I like just spelling it R-E. I feel
if
like
you're going to the movie theatra.
If I'm going to the movies, see, I just call it the Cineplex.
Of course. Yes. So 6 years ago, theaternerds.com published this quiz asking if we can guess these musicals based on one random song lyric.
Okay.
And so we're going to attempt, there's 10 for us to go through. We're going to attempt to do so today.
All right. I'm ready.
All right. So here's the lyric.
Okay.
All you got to do is just believe you can be who you want to be. Is that from Chicago?
No.
Newsies, Dear Evan Hansen, or Les Miserables? I don't think it's Les Miserables.
I don't think it's Dear Evan Hansen either. I think it's got to be Newsies.
Newsies? Okay, we're locking in Newsies.
Locking in Newsies.
And we are wrong. It is Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh.
I've never seen it.
I have.
Oh.
And I like it. Not the movie.
You don't have to defend yourself. You could like the movie. You could have gone to the Cineplex.
But I did not.
Yeah. Question number 2.
Yes.
Hey, Mr. No-Name Kid, so who might you be? Is this from Phantom of the Opera? No.
No.
Is this from Heathers? Probably not.
Probably not.
But maybe. Cats? No.
No.
I know for sure. Newsies?
This could be Newsies.
This could be Newsies.
Let's go. Let's do that. Because, I mean, where are you going to encounter no-name kids? But in Newsies.
In Newsies.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's from Heathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good at this so far.
Question number 3.
Yes.
Here they sang about tomorrow and tomorrow never came. We know it.
Right. It's Les Mis.
It's Les Mis.
That's right.
Locking it in. We're correct. Number 4. I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down and all that jazz. Chicago.
Gotta
Yes.
be, yeah.
Yep.
All that
Locking
jazz.
that one in. We're right. When your hope is gone, your friend is on your side. From Cats, Avenue Q, 13 the Musical, or Les Miserables.
What's 13?
I don't know.
Is this Cats?
This is not Cats.
It's not Les Mis.
It's not Les Mis.
What was the first one?
Avenue Q or 13 the Musical?
I don't think it's Avenue Q, because Avenue Q's like Muppets That Swear.
So 13 the Musical?
Try it.
Okay. We're right.
Okay, whoo.
We don't know what it is, but we're right.
But we nailed it.
Yeah. Not a sound from the pavement has the moon lost her memory. This is Cats.
Yes.
Okay. Locked it in. We're good. Ain't it a fine life carrying the banner through it all? Absolutely Newsies.
Yes. Well, wait. We already had a Newsies, though. What are the other options?
We did have a... No. We said it was a Newsies, but we were wrong. It was Heather's.
Oh, it was Heather's. Okay,
Yeah,
then
but
this
here
one
are
is
the
Newsies.
options. Here are the
There's
options.
got to be one of
Well,
these Newsies.
Newsies,
Uh-huh.
Hairspray,
Right.
Hamilton, or Avenue Q.
Say the lyric again?
Ain't it a fine life carrying the banner through it all? Patrick, I am 100% confident.
Okay, then go with Newsies. Then go with Newsies.
It was.
Okay,
it
great.
was Newsies.
All right.
You'll remember you belong to me. Hairspray, Phantom of the Opera, Hamilton, or Chicago.
Phantom, right?
I think it's Hamilton. I think it's the king when he's like.
Oh,
doing
yes.
his
You'll be
little
back. You'll be
interlude.
see. Yeah. Good point.
Okay. Yes, Hamilton.
That feels like a trick. Because,
Hey,
Hamilton, look, we know it and we got there, but it feels like a trick.
No, I think Beth R. She knew, she wrote a clever quiz. Let's see.
Still a trick.
9 out of 10. Woke up today feeling the way I always do. Is this Be More Chill? I don't know what that is. Hairspray? I think it's Hairspray.
I think it's Hairspray, yeah.
Wicked or Hamilton?
Ooh, it's not Hamilton.
I think it's Hairspray.
I think it's
I think
Hairspray,
it's
but-
from Good Morning Baltimore.
That makes sense, yes.
Yes, it is
Okay,
Hairspray.
Great.
Oh, this one okay. Let us be glad, let us be grateful. Is this from Hamilton, Heathers, Be More Chill, or Wicked? I don't think it's from Hamilton.
It could be from Wicked.
It could be. I don't know Wicked that well.
I don't really know Wicked
and
either.
I've never seen
I don't know
Heathers,
Heathers.
and I don't know what Be More Chill is.
Right.
Are we gonna risk it all on Wicked?
I think we risk it for a Wicked.
We already had a Heathers,
Right.
so it's either Be More Chill or Wicked.
Right. Go with Wicked.
I think we're gonna go with Wicked, and we were correct.
All right, good. I gotta say, there's a very specific pocket of musical theater that all of these fall into, and I was hoping. I've been on a Sondheim kick. We just watched the company original cast recording documentary, and recently watched our copy of Sunday in the Park with George, and we've got a DVD of Into the Woods, and I'm just on Sondheim right now, and none of that is represented here.
No, not at all.
All right. We were thank you to that quiz from
TheaterNerds.com.
TheaterNerds.com. Thank you. We were accompanied today by an ensemble at the Musical Instrument Museum in Phoenix. Mark, let's get into the news. That one I'll leave in. Actually, Mark, before we get into the news, we were sent some things by a listener. Thank you, Aaron, who visited the Nintendo store in Japan. Sent us some gummy candies.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And some socks. And I just wanted to talk about. First of all, there are 2 pairs of socks in here, and we have to decide who gets which pair of socks.
They're both Zelda themed.
Yes.
One is the Zelda Z with the Master Sword going through it, from the logo.
Yeah, and then the other one is green and has the sort of Hyrule emblem on it.
And both have the Triforce.
Yeah, in
patterned,
patterns. Yeah,
in the socks. These are so cool.
These are very cool. Thank you, Aaron, for sending these to us. Do you have a preference as to which pair of these you want?
No, I would be happy with either one.
I'm gonna take these green ones.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I will take these blue ones.
And then we got some gummy candies. There's a Super Mario gummy candies. They are blue and red. And I think one of these is cola flavored or something. And then the Kirby gummies are, first of all, look at them. They look like they're wet.
Yes, and also they have Bandai Namco branding on them.
Hey, whatever.
But they are gummies in the branding says 4D. It's 3D plus delicious.
Perfect.
Too cute.
So should we eat some of these, or and maybe not? Maybe we eat some of these later. We'll take pictures and put them up on the
yeah.
Discord
This
and
is
on
so
Twitter and
fun.
stuff.
Thank you again. That is so awesome.
Thank you, Aaron. Now let's get into the news.
Nintendo is bringing Nintendo Live to Seattle this September. Nintendo Live is an in-person event for fans that includes gameplay, live stage performances, gaming tournaments, photo ops, and more. Specific dates and information on how to attend will be coming in the future. Nintendo has held Nintendo Live events in Japan in the past, but this is the first in the United States. And the Japan events seem fun. They've included Splatoon concerts, so I'm excited to see what Nintendo has planned for Seattle.
Why do you think that they are doing this in North America for the first time?
I think this is, I don't know if this is directly replacing E3, but it definitely seems like
Yeah.
in that mode of like, hey, we're doing our own thing now. And I think this is a like great idea, especially if it is like a big fan event.
Yeah.
I feel like, there are video game conventions, but there is no Nintendo specific convention.
Yeah.
And if I don't know that that's what this is going to be, or if it'll be like more of a casual, like kind of, like when they do Nintendo does pop-ups occasionally where,
Yeah, sure.
they'll go across the country and they'll have these pop-ups at malls. And so if it's just a more elaborate one of that, that's cool. But what I'm hoping it is like a multi-day event that we're going to want to buy tickets for, like Star Wars Celebration, but for Nintendo.
Right.
Would be amazing.
So for it to be something like that, it would also have to be like tied into like announcements and trailers and stuff, which, there is no E3 this year. And so maybe there is no, June Nintendo Direct. But Nintendo usually does something in September anyway.
Right.
As far as like announcements are concerned, I don't know if it makes sense for them to tie this to that. Or like if the two are even like related at all.
Right.
But like it does like it gets the kind of wheels spinning about like what could this be? We have like some kind of broad outlines here about what it is, but we don't really know what this is going to entail. But I will note that the list of gameplay, live stage performances, gaming tournaments, photo ops, and more does not really encompass new game announcements or trailers, right?
Yeah.
So like it doesn't feel like it's going to be that. Do you think there will be like a space for like panels and stuff like that, or does that feel like too like con-y?
Yeah, I feel like what I want it to be is like a Nintendo convention.
Yeah.
But what it's probably going to be is more like a glorified mall pop-up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't know that there'll be, I don't know how long they intend this to be, but like, I don't know that you'll want to go all 3 days of the event.
Right.
If they're doing like a Splatoon concert or some sort of concert like that, I think that'd be super fun to go to. But yeah, I think what I want it to be and what it actually is going to be are probably pretty different.
Yeah, I mean it is staggering how big the umbrella of live stage performances can be. Like, is that a Splatoon show? Is that a I mean, what? Like, is it stand up? Is it what is it? Like, what is a live stage show? What does that mean?
Live stage performance.
Live stage performance.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it does make me think that it's
someone's oboe recital.
that it's like a concert or
Yeah.
something. But they have gaming tournaments, so maybe there'll be Splatoon 3 World Championships or something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, and I would be, depending on what this is,
Yeah.
it could be fun to go to. But again, it doesn't seem like, like a Star Wars Celebration type thing where you would go for the entire week. It's probably like check
Right.
it out for the day type thing.
Yeah. So, and like there hasn't really been, not that we've seen anyway, there's no way to like sign up for or buy tickets to
Not
it
yet,
at
yeah.
present. Just as there's no real place to like submit for like press inquiries or to apply for like a press badge. And again, like, is this even the kind of place that you know what I mean? Like, if there was an E3 this year, we would have applied for press badges to go and check it out. Is this a thing that we're gonna go to, be a part of? Like, I don't. I wish we had any more idea of what this is. And September, while it feels like is very far away, is also not that far away.
Yeah, totally.
Mark, what do you make of the fact that Super Bomberman R2 it was announced to be releasing in September, and then we get this Nintendo Live event in September? Are we in fact getting the Switch 2 along with the release of Super Bomberman R2 in September?
I don't think we're getting it in September, but I think that Super Bomberman R2 is bookending the Switch's life. It is, it is acting as Baby New Year.
Sure.
And as the Angel of Death.
Right.
Like
famous dichotomy.
It is marking the passage of time and will be one of the last releases that we remember from the Switch.
So wait, does that mean
Uh-huh.
Metroid Prime 4 doesn't come out on the Switch?
I have
or comes out before September? That's obviously the more laughable answer.
But that would be, but yeah, that's what I don't think we're getting to Switch to.
Okay,
that's what it comes down to.
I had forgotten I posed you an impossible, stupid question. Yeah, no, I mean, there's no way that they're like setting up their reveal of new hardware like behind the veil of Nintendo Live.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we did see at E3 where, like big announcements were coming out of, well, actually not even more. There was a time when E3, like big announcements were being made from the United States. But that's not the case anymore. Like for the longest time, they've been doing Nintendo Directs, which happen to be broadcast at the same time as E3. And so it's still, no, I don't expect any announcements coming out of Nintendo Live. That hasn't been the case for Nintendo Live in Japan. Right. They haven't timed any announcements around that showcase in the past. It's been all, like for the most part, previously released games.
Right.
It's more a celebration of like what Nintendo has recently done than anything
what they're about to do.
Yeah.
I think at the most it's possible that there will be a Nintendo Direct earlier in the month, and some of those games that are like revealed there are playable at like kiosks or something.
Yeah.
Which is a component of the like E3 live show performance, or not performance, but like part of that presence that we have been missing in the last couple of years. And one of the things that I still feel like is missing in the lead up to Tears of the Kingdom, that we don't have all of these like hands-on gameplay impressions from people who got to play it for 15 minutes and then running around the Great Plateau.
Right.
So, but then that also kind of like begs the question of like, is there something like that people need to have hands on, to like sort of spread the hype about? Is that Metroid Prime, or is it just Super Bomberman R2?
I feel like the fact that they are, I feel like it's such a weird kind of. I guess what I'm saying is I'm super curious to see what this event actually is.
Totally.
Because, Japan geographically is not like an enormous country, but getting people to Seattle, or it feels like if Nintendo wanted to, I understand that Nintendo's headquarters in North America are, like basically in Seattle.
Yeah.
But it just feels like if you wanted to have a big event like this, that your intention was not for it to be big enough for people to travel to, then Seattle seems like a weird. If you meant it to be like small enough scale that it's just like, oh, we'll get like a local audience, and then you would want to put it in like New York City
or Chicago or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so the fact that they're doing it in Seattle, it just makes me think like, what is this? Is it going to be big enough that people will want to travel for it?
Right. Yeah.
Because if it's just a glorified mall pop-up, like, that's not that interesting to me.
Right. And I guess it could be. Like, the fact that Nintendo is a global company means when they make an announcement like this, it becomes a global thing. But they may not be thinking about this on a global scale, drawing in people from all across the United States and North America to come to Seattle for this thing.
Yeah. So interesting to see what it is.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Last Thursday, Nintendo live streamed the final Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom pre-launch trailer. And this one was really similar in style and scope to the 2017 January Nintendo Switch reveal event trailer.
Style and scope and tone and pace and everything. Like, it was basically they saw what they did for the Switch launch trailer, and then we're just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do that again, but for this game.
And hey, like in that episode we did a couple of weeks ago talking about our favorite Zelda reveals,
we gotta scrap it. We gotta throw the whole thing out.
I talked up how much I loved that Breath of the Wild January trailer and how that I felt like had been missing from Tears of the Kingdom. And if you need more proof, Nintendo listens to the show. They were like, oh, we're losing Mitchell.
Yep.
We gotta pull him back.
We'll do exactly what we did last time. No, it's a great trailer.
It is a really good trailer.
There's so much, like, it starts with a very, like, place setting, calm, chill. You get to see the majesty of these flying islands and of Hyrule and all that stuff. And then, like, rapid fire, here's a bunch of characters, here's a bunch of concepts, here's a bunch of, like, weird vehicles and weapons, and Link doing crazy things like falling through a grid of lasers, Link swimming through floating blobs of water. And it's just like, the mind sort of reels at how big this game must be and how much stuff there is in it. Obviously, even a trailer as packed as this is not showing us any significant fraction of the game. I think it's obviously too soon to say, but I feel like they've done it, right? Like, they've made the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
It definitely, and so much of the little things that are in there, like, pique the curiosity.
Yeah.
You see some returning characters, you see some new characters, you see some just like situations like Link seemingly fighting side by side with like
Prince Sidon of the fish people. What are they called?
Yeah,
the Zora,
and also just like citizens of Hyrule.
Yep.
So that's a situation that I don't think we've ever seen Link in before.
Right. Yes. Well, and it is interesting because, like, can I go conspiracy brain for a little bit?
Yes, please.
Okay, so one of the early leaks that we had for Tears of the Kingdom, I don't remember if it was an ad, and it was around the same time as the OLED version that had the Zelda stuff on it. That the ad for Tears of the Kingdom included the Nintendo Switch Online logo. Which sort of momentarily sparked a, like, is there online in as part of this game? Fine, one data point, right? Then other data point, we see Link fighting side by side with other characters. Third data point, recently the mod for Breath of the Wild, the multiplayer mod, was like launched, and then Nintendo aggressively took down videos about it, the people who were like hosting the actual mod itself and all that kind of stuff. The last time they were this aggressive about taking down mods or fan projects was the Another Metroid 2 remake project, which they took down, and then just a couple months later, announced Samus Returns, their own remake of Metroid 2. So, Mark, what I'm asking here is there multiplayer in Tears of the Kingdom where your friend is controlling Prince Sidon alongside you?
I don't think so.
Okay, but is it possible?
I think there's two reasons why, like, I know that they've been very quiet about this game, but to not say anything if the game included multiplayer,
yeah,
I think would be truly wild.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
really would be amazing if that is a main feature of the game,
and they kept it a secret,
and they just haven't said anything. That truly would be incredible.
Not just haven't said anything, but that no one knows about it.
Right. The second reason why I do not think it's the case is because I don't think Nintendo, like, or maybe I don't think kind of like narratively it makes any sense for other players to come in and like temporarily control Prince like Sidon.
Sure.
Or even just like random Hyrule people. Like the way that we've seen this sort of like cooperative play in Zelda games before is you all play like multiple Links. And if there was something,
that is true.
If there was something with like a Link like multiverse or different timelines that would explain
which could be there is a princess who looks an awful lot like Zelda but isn't Zelda.
Yeah, you know what I've been thinking is, they told us, it's pronounced Tears of the Kingdom, but what if it is double meaning and it's like tears and tears, like tears in time or something?
Yeah, totally.
But so that's the other reason I don't think so, is because I'm trying to imagine a scenario where like the flow for somebody is boot up Tears of the Kingdom, say you want to play multiplayer, and then choose the multiplayer character you want to, like choose the
Yeah,
character you want to
sure,
be,
sure.
and then wait for your friend to like summon you into the game. Like it doesn't make sense to me for you to play as like a side character.
Yeah, I mean the other thing that I find like kind of interesting about these like partner characters is that it does a little bit feel like when you would scan in the Wolf Link amiibo in Breath of the Wild, and then the wolf would fight alongside you. Like that's a one-to-one sort of thing. So like, and that's obviously not another player controlling that wolf, but like that wolf's stats are determined by what you loaded up into that amiibo. So like it could be a like a sort of like passive multiplayer thing where like you get to build up your Prince Sidon in your game and then like lend him out to people. Like I don't like the online component of this. I think is still it's possible is still unexplored.
Yes.
If it's true, it could be not true.
Right.
It could just be like a Nintendo Switch logo that they were like, oh, I didn't realize that was the NSO logo specifically.
Well, I mean, we really don't have to wait that long to find out anymore. We're less than a month away.
This is nuts to me. I cannot believe this game is coming out so soon.
Yeah, me either. Do we have any idea when reviews are going to come out, or
no?
Do you think people are playing the game right now in preparation for?
They said it was done, right?
Right.
Like as of the gameplay reveal a couple weeks ago, the game is completed. So I mean,
how much time would they give? I feel like they'd probably just give like a week for people to review it, and then they just have to like have
it's just not enough time,
but play Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
But yeah, less than a month away. But before the game is released, Splatoon 3 will be holding a special Tears of the Kingdom themed Splatfest. Players will choose a team based on which element of the Triforce they seek: power, wisdom, or courage. Nintendo is also teasing a special tricolor turf war stage that it will be set in the Scorch Gorge area that will be unique to this Splatfest. They say, quote, unlike the nearby rock formations, the stage has an unusual triangular geometry. Reminds us of something.
Triforce. It's the Triforce. They're talking about the Triforce.
So this will run May 5th from 5 p.m. Pacific time to May 7th, 5 p.m. Pacific time. They're also releasing some special T-shirts and keychains to go with this Splatfest. The T-shirts are available now. There's one for, power, wisdom, and courage, and matching keychains. The T-shirts can be purchased now, and the keychains will be available in North America via My Nintendo sometime in the future.
So are the graphic that we have in our run of show, are these the back of the shirts?
I'm not sure,
because I'm pretty sure the front of the shirts include like a silhouette of either Zelda, Link, or Ganondorf, and
it looks like this is the front, so maybe that's
front,
the
so maybe
back.
That's the back.
Yeah,
interesting. But that does trigger the following. We did not mention that the trailer for Tears of the Kingdom that we got does include the reveal of Ganondorf.
Yes, that's right.
So no longer the Calamity Ganon, now the man. The frequently shirtless, definitely
and what a man,
definitely ripped. Ganondorf is present in this game, and it's like the first time that the trio of Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf have been in a game since Twilight Princess.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, well, because they don't, they tend to like kind of like mix them up and be like, no, there's no Zelda in this one, or this one the Ganon is Ganondorf, or the Ganondorf is Ganon.
Right.
So yeah, it's a cool like return to that trio.
Well, also in that trailer we got a glimpse, and who knows? I'm guessing all of the stuff we saw for the most part is in like the very beginning of the game.
Probably, yeah.
But we see a little bit of what appears to be Demise.
Yes.
From Skyward Sword, separate seemingly from Ganon. Again, not sure exactly what the connection is there.
Right. And Demise is like the original Demon King or whatever.
Yeah, he's like the final boss
of
Skyward Sword. He's the oh man, what is the kind of like the evil
the evil sword from
No, not Girahim. The what is the calamity, like is it just called Calamity? Is like the
the malice.
malice.
Yeah.
He is like Demise is like the source of malice in the world, and I just feel like the Skyward Sword connections just continue to be stronger and stronger
Yeah.
between this and Tears of the Kingdom.
Skyward Sword connections, but also there's little bits of Link Between Worlds and Triforce Heroes in here too. Like I think I know we've just gone back to the previous news story, but this trailer rips and it makes me very excited for what we're gonna see in Tears of the Kingdom.
But what do you think of these T-shirts?
I don't need
They're
them.
pretty ugly, right?
Yeah, it's I expressed this on our Discord, but I really like the aesthetics of Splatoon in a video game. The second you pull them into the real world, I'm like, oh no, I don't need that at all.
Yeah, they're not for me.
Nope.
Speaking of trinkets, they may not be trash. Hallmark has revealed their plans for Nintendo holiday ornaments this year.
Yes.
I think it was I actually bought one last year, the Super Nintendo ornament, which turned out to be pretty cool.
It has a little button on it. You bought one for me too, as well.
Yes.
And I thanked you for it at the time, and I'm doing it again now. For some reason, it feels like I can't mention that you bought it without thanking you for it. There's a little power button on it that when you push it plays music from Super Mario World, with like sound effects of Mario and like Yoshi running around. It is surprisingly loud.
It is, yeah, startlingly loud
and very long. Luckily, you can stop it by pushing the button again.
But it's pretty fun. This year they have an Animal Crossing Isabelle one, Metroid Samus from I think Super Metroid.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool. Like a Toad ornament, Mario Cat ornament, Luigi from Mario Kart ornament, like he's in a cart.
Is he doing the glare?
I don't think he is. No. Pokemon.
Hallmark doesn't get what's special about Mario.
Snorlax and what's called a mini Pokemon Holiday Eevee ornament.
Huh.
Yeah.
Those words in that order feel weird to me. Mini Pokemon Holiday Eevee ornament. Which part of it do you think is mini? The
yeah,
Eevee?
unknown.
The holiday?
The holiday.
The Pokemon, which would be the Eevee?
The ornament? Maybe it's a mini ornament?
Well, I mean, what's the point of that?
Yeah, I don't understand. They all range between like around $20, and they have a staggered kind of like release. Some are available in July, some are available in October, and one is available in November. But they're the Samus one is actually pretty cool. I think it is the Super Metroid Samus, and like the colors feel very like spot on for that.
Yeah. That is cool. Did you see that there's also a Sega Dreamcast ornament in the same line?
No.
So it's you push the button on it, and the screen on the memory card in the controller, it like lights up with like a little graphic on it, and it plays music from like Sonic Adventure or something. So that seems kind of cool to me. I may dip in for that one.
Star Wars Republic Commando is the next Nintendo Switch Online game trial in North America. Nintendo Switch Online subscribers can play for free starting April 20th, and it runs through April 26th. Like the other trials, progress transfers to the full version if you end up picking it up. I'm interested in this one.
Here's the thing. I am interested in this game only in as much as I want to not pay for it, but play it for 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yes.
And this is a thing where it's also like on sale for 50% off or something like that. So if you do have a fun time playing it for the week that it's available, that it shouldn't cost you too much to keep playing. But yeah, it's neat. Like there's been this like rush of these games being published by Aspyr. And I believe this is one of those.
I think so too.
Of these older Star Wars games.
Yeah, this was one from around the time that the Clone Wars was released. So like, not Clone Wars, Attack the Clones. So like 2002-ish.
Yes.
And you play as clone troopers, and I think there's like it's like a tactical shooter or something like that. There's some sort of like team element to
it. Well, and I believe that one of these characters is currently appearing in the Bad Batch. But in a very like background kind of way. It's just like he has a distinctive helmet and that like lights up. So like now I'm invested. I'm a big dumb sucker for Star Wars. I'm absolutely gonna check this out. It starts this weekend, so
yep.
I'm totally there.
Also this weekend is the 33rd Tetris 99 Maximus Cup. Runs from the 21st through the 24th.
Okay, and the theme,
You got Zelda coming out any day now.
right? Pikmin down the line, Metroid Prime remaster, all these really high-profile Nintendo. GoldenEye just came out on the Nintendo 64 Switch Online. Lots of things to be excited about, but this is a Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe themed Tetris 99 Maximus Cup.
Kirby continues their absolute domination
Domination
of Tetris Maximus Cup themes.
I think this is the 5th one. Why are they doing this?
It's so many. It's so many. I do think
we have a lot of Kirby games.
we do have a lot of Kirby games.
But this is crazy.
I do think we'll get. They seem to be like on this delayed schedule.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't surprise me if we get an Advance Wars 1. Actually, maybe that would surprise me. But like an Advance Wars 1, if we get a Tears of the Kingdom 1 like in July or August or something. Because we did get a Fire Emblem Engage Maximus Cup, but it came
just
was
a couple weeks ago.
Well.
Yeah. Of the last 4 Tetris Maximus Cups, 3 of them were Kirby. The Forgotten Land, Dream Buffet, and this.
That's
were,
so wild.
Were all, and then the Engage, were like those were the last 4, which is like I don't know, guys. Is there that much of an appetite for Kirby Tetris themes?
I wish we could see the metrics. Maybe they do get a big spike when it's like
maybe
Kirby
they blow
related.
Up. Who knows?
But lots of Magalore fans out there. Finally, the Library of Congress has added the Super Mario Brothers theme by Koji Kondo into its registry. It becomes the first piece of video game music to be added to the library's collection ever.
So why? The Library of Congress, are they collecting like notable works of literature or just like all works of art?
So every year, the Librarian of Congress chooses 25 recordings to be added to the registry, and there's a couple of I was reading about it earlier today, and I cannot remember like one of the criteria is it has to be at least 10 years old, and then I think the other one is it just has to be notable. I don't know that there's like another strict requirement.
Set of criteria.
But and I don't know exactly like there apparently there's a committee or a group who like helps curate possible entries, and then the Librarian of Congress is like tasked with choosing the 25. And so this year, the Super Mario Brothers theme is added as well as the Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" also being added to the Library of Congress.
What's weird about this is like you saying that it's obviously not just songs are added or pieces of music, but specifically recordings, and that makes sense to me that like individual recordings would be curated by a librarian. What do you think the recording of the Super Mario Brothers theme is?
Yeah, like I don't know. That's a great question.
There doesn't exist like a recording of it. It's something that is synthesized by an NES. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's like Nintendo has like recordings of them.
Yeah,
that like they can provide. I don't know.
It's weird to consider that like games that had music where the sounds are being generated by the sound chip on the console aren't technically recordings of anything.
Right. Yeah. It's a mini concert every
time it's being performed live, the instrument is the NES.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible. Also, do you think that it's and I don't know if there's any difference, because you know how with Zelda, there's like a difference in the music because from the Famicom,
great point,
disc system versus the cartridge in the US. I don't know if the same is true for Super Mario Brothers.
Well, Super Mario Brothers would have been earlier, so
before
the disc system,
so maybe I guess it's the same.
Yeah. Either way, not a recording.
Do you think that would have affected the ground theme's placement in our greatest Nintendo music of all time tournament that we did with friend of the show Greg Smith, a few years back, end of 2019 maybe. I can't remember exactly when we did it.
Yeah, so it went far in the Mario division, but it did not win out that bracket.
No, it didn't advance out of the first round.
Which
is my memory.
That's I mean it advanced out of I forget exactly how we did the rounds of it, but yeah, it was not our representative from the Mario region. And I remember that upset Greg Smith greatly, but we did it anyway. And I think we just got to stick by that. The fact that it is now in the Library of Congress is a nice consolation prize.
That's right. That's
I
right.
suppose.
No, you're totally right. It would. I think you're right that this information would not have swayed us one way or the other from the truth, capital T.
Capital Truth, which is, of course, that the Legend of Zelda theme from Link to the Past was our winner of that tournament.
Yeah, that's right.
Not to spoil a trio of episodes that we did 5 years ago, but all right, Mark, let's get out of the news. Okay, that is going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Join our Discord, send us an email, and we will send you an invitation. Anthony DeLuca made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Eller saying thank you for listening.